Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me tonight is not Joel Meyer. It is once again Smitty, friend of the show, Discorder. F. Smitty here. How we doing tonight, bud?
Crazy day at work. Ready to be here and talk some hockey and drink a beer or two.
Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, Joel's busy tonight. He has some prior commitments here, so it's going to be us two this evening. So hopefully Joel will be back on Monday next week. So it's got a big 15 game slate on Saturday. So wanted to get something out here for you guys. Top of the show here. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube. Shout out One Sharp Shark is in the chat right now, who may have left because Joel's not here now, but he left a nice 5-star review in the YouTube comments last show. So I'll read that at the end of this show. Of course, make sure you also follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN and get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord there. Just 2 games tonight. You got the Hurricanes up 3-2 over the Knights. Penguins up 4-2 over the Sabres. Looks like Sabres just scored with the goalie pulled there. 2 games on a Friday night, and we got 15 on Saturday. It's just how the NHL seems to do it. And of course, the one good game was on NHL Network, so you can't even get it on ESPN Plus or anything like that.
It's great marketing technique right there, by the way.
Oh, great! Yeah, great marketing technique by the NHL. They moved the Winter Classic because they're scared of football, and then putting 15 games up against NFL playoffs. So yeah, great marketing there by Gary Bettman and the entire NHL there. I'm not going to go puck buck bets today, but I'll get into them from Thursday's show. We had some comments in the Discord, people tailing there. We throw them up here on the screen. I ended up going 6-4, up 60 puck bucks. Joel went 8-7, up 8-6, up 52 puck bucks. Our Hockey Gambling Podcast underdog round robin almost hit there with the Red Wings, Habs, and Flyers all winning. Of course, Joel threw the Flames into that, so then his parlay went up in flames, of course. When Joel tries to do a parlay here in 2025, Joel with his parlays and his props, he's a changed man now. We got him back to his straights, his money lines, his futures. I'm sure he'll get back to it there, but a winning night there on Thursday. How'd you do last night?
Last night it was a good night. I think I tailed most of your guys's, and then I had a couple of my own. So I think the only bad one was the Avs. Yeah, we all kind of suffered on the Avs there.
They went up 3-0. It's like, all right. I mean, Edmonton on the second half of a back-to-back. Then the Oilers just stormed back to win that one. I think it was 4-3 final there. Lightning didn't get it done by puck line or regulation. They took it to a shootout against the Ducks. Jets got cucked there by the Kraken and Joey Decord making 34 saves. Yeah, pretty good night of hockey otherwise. Leafs coming back there against the Devils as well. Kind of screwed Joel. He had both the Devils and the under in that one. So, but overall, like you said, good night of hockey there. So hopefully we can keep that going here on Saturday. Make sure you have the SGPN app for easy access to all of our free picks and podcasts ahead of the NFL weekend right here. Got a big UFC thing going on as well, so make sure you check out everything over there. All right, Smitty, you want to just get into this 15-game slate for Saturday?
All right, let's get it done.
All right, kicking us off here at 12:30 p.m. We got my Philadelphia Flyers plus 170 at the New Jersey Devils minus 205. Under 6.5 is minus 135. Over 6.5 plus 114 here. I know the Devils are a much better team on paper than the Flyers. I know the Flyers, have been playing better recently, but I don't know, the Devils here minus 205. It's just a bit too steep for me. So if I go anyway in this one, it has to be to the Flyers at plus 170. 4-game point streak, good win on Long Island there. Came back from that big hit. Devils now playing 4 straight overtime games, so might be looking to the draw here. They did go to overtime in 2 of their 4 meetings last year. These two teams do tend to play closer games here. So, yeah, you can't lay minus 200 on the Devils. If anything, take the Flyers at plus 170. The draw is probably 3-1 or better. I would be on that as well. Yeah, plus 350. Throw quarter unit on that, whatever, throw a few bucks. I guess for this total, I would look to the under. Devils have been an under team this season. Flyers, Sam Erston is starting. He's been better recently, but just going to be the Flyers for me, and then maybe an overtime play.
Harrison starting in net, and maybe Markstrom, because the Devils also play on Sunday, so there might be a Jake Allen sighting in this. So I'll stay away from the total, but I think you're right with the Flyers there, especially if Jake Allen's confirmed. Philly can definitely hang 4 on this, and Harrison has been only letting in 2 or 3 from time to time. So I think that's a good look right now, especially with the early game slate. You don't know what's going to happen with these teams or how much up they're going to be.
Hey, good call there. I did not realize the Devils play on Sunday. They got the Sens on Sunday. So, I mean, I imagine they'll start Markstrom in the quote-unquote rivalry game, the big rivalry between the Devils and the Flyers. But, yeah, wait to see goalie there. But either way, I mean, you got to go with the Flyers here, plus 170. And I'm not laying minus 200 on the Devils right now. Yeah, they've won only 3 of their past 7 games, a bunch of low-scoring games in there. No, a bunch of those were on the road. They are much better at home, but yeah, Flyers are nothing.
They've also looked good, too. I know when they were playing the Columbus Blue Jackets, they should have won that game in overtime. There were so many turnovers. I didn't watch the early part of the game. How'd they look? Weren't you there?
That was in Columbus. I wasn't there, but yeah, they look good. They look good in that one. They had a lead. They took the lead in the third period, but of course the Blue Jackets came back and tied it. Zach Werenski, suddenly coming up the Norris Trophy standings there. He had both goals. So yeah, Flyers have been looking a lot better since that Stars game. You know, they looked horrible in that one. That was a 4th straight loss, and then they had Cutter coming to Philadelphia. So that got them going. Since then, they've been looking a lot better. All right, down to 3 p.m. here. Got the Boston Bruins plus 114 at the Ottawa Senators minus 135. Over 5.5 is minus 112. Under 5.5 is minus 108. Smitty, what do you got here?
Line's already starting to move a little bit. I think it opened around minus 120, maybe a little bit higher than that. I am on the Sens and probably on the under also. It's a good look. Boston can only win if Swayman's on his stuff. It has not looked great offensively. I think they only had 16 shots the other night. Swayman's been bailing them out left and right. Yeah, you got to go with the Sens, and if it happens, it happens, especially with them being at home. This says that they're a close team, and I think the Sens have just been outperforming them lately. So the under, but my stronger play is definitely on the Sens.
Yeah, it's weird now because like Boston is kind of, back-to-back wins against Florida and Tampa to break a 6-7 game losing streak they had there. But yeah, Sens going the other way. Ever since that long road trip, came back home, got shut out. I mean, 3 straight wins and then a 1-0 overtime game there against the Capitals. Great call by Joel there on the under. I love the under here, under 5.5 minus 108. I looked back at the Senators game log. They've gone under 5.5 in 7 straight. There have been 6 goals or fewer in 11 straight games and 19 of their past 20. So this might be a spot where you pay up for an under 6 or even an under 6.5, just because the Sens team, no matter who's in net, like Allmark, we thought him going down was going to change things. Forsberg hasn't been great behind him, but this Miralainen guy, I mean, he's been fantastic for them between the pipes. So let me see if anything's confirmed. No one's confirmed for tomorrow. Is the first half of a back-to-back. I have to imagine they keep rolling with Miralainen there. Should be Swayman. He is likely as well. He's been finding it after a bad start to the season. So yeah, under 5.5 minus 108 would be my play here. Yeah, you said you got Sens like minus 120. I'd like that. If it comes back down to that again, maybe I'll take it, but I'm not going to pay minus 135 here. So staying away from the side, just going to go with the under for this one. All right, down to 4 p.m. here. Got the Dallas Stars plus 114 at the Colorado Avalanche minus 135. Over 5.5 minus 130. Under 5.5 at plus 110 here. We just mentioned it before. Avalanche coming off that horrible 3-0 lead, blown that to lose 4-3 to the Oilers. The power play has not scored a goal in 6 games here, which is it's surprising given they have McKinnon, Rantanen, McCarr, Drouin up there as well on the power play unit. Dallas PK has been pretty good. Dallas, kind of a weird travel spot. They had a 5-game road trip, went back home, lost to the Canadiens. Now they're back on the road against the Avalanche. Avalanche off a loss. They have not lost 2 straight since November 29th and 30th, which was coincidentally at Dallas and then versus Edmonton. So same 2 teams here, but I just think Colorado at home, they haven't quite had the home ice advantage that they normally do. I think that will regress at some point. So minus 135, I'm just fine with that. And against teams that win more than 55% of their games, the Avs are 12-7 and the Stars are just 6-8 there. So like the Avs here. As for a total, I guess I would look to the under because I'm not paying minus 130 on the over, but just going with the side here.
What a huge difference in price too. Oilers were on a back-to-back, and I think the Avs were still only minus 120. So I think there's some undervalue in the Stars here, because there's no back-to-back or anything on this. I would have to say, looking towards the Stars right now, what is that, an under 6 almost, probably with minus 130 up at the top. Yeah, probably an under with Ott and Blackwood. Still another early game. I don't like much of these early games. When they have these early start times, it gets a little wonky. But yeah, I would say Stars, just because of how things have been going. I think they're evenly rated, close to it as far as what I look and feel. But yeah, Stars in the under, more with the Stars though side, not total.
Yeah, just one thing for the Stars. Rupe Hintz missed last game, upper body injury. I think Joel said it was something with his face, so we'll see if he goes for that one. That probably kind of explains it. He's been playing pretty good on their top line recently for the Stars there. But yeah, these early games, like, you never know, like especially these 1 o'clock local times, like you don't know which teams got better sleep, which team can get up for these games. They are wonky, as you said. All right, down to 6 p.m. here. Got the Anaheim Ducks plus 295 at the Florida Panthers minus 375. Panthers puck line is minus 130. Under 6.5 minus 142. Over 6.5 plus 120. I can just hear Joel screaming and cursing at these odds here. But Smitty, what do you got for this one?
I mean, there's nothing else to do other than yell at it at this point. We're getting ridiculous. It's minus 142. No one's going to be doing that. Yeah, if you had to look anyway, it'd be an under. Minus 1.5 has me interested in how the Ducks played the past couple weeks. Shootout loss with the Lightning. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Still minus 1.5 is still minus 130. Any way to look at it right now, regulation's probably like, over 200? Yeah, under 6 if you had to look away and just see what happens. I don't think the Florida Panthers are going to get goalied in this. Yeah, under 6 if I had to do anything.
Yeah, regulation, I just checked. It's minus 245, which is an insane price to pay. Like,
good God.
But yeah, like you said, I don't trust either of these teams. I don't trust the Panthers on the puck line at minus 130. I guess the Ducks, maybe they do tend to play some closer games. Surprised there in Tampa. They are on the end of a 6-game road trip, so maybe they're running out of gas there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could see one of those games where the Ducks lose like 6-2 or 6-0 like they did to St. Louis and in Philly. But also, the Panthers really haven't been playing too well recently. Recent wins, 2-1 in a shootout, 4-1 in Utah, 3-2 in a shootout against the Penguins here. So yeah, there's 15 games on. There's NFL playoffs. There's plenty of stuff to watch, plenty of stuff to bet on. Just stay away from this one here. All right, we are brought to you by DraftKings. Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. All right, down to 7 p.m. now. We got the Columbus Blue Jackets plus 160 at the New York Rangers minus 192, under 6.5 minus 122, over 6.5 plus 102 here. Both of these teams kind of hot coming into this one. Columbus, they haven't been the best road team on the season, only 6-12-3. But they got a 6-game winning streak now, including 2 of them on the road, won 8 of their past 10. Rangers kind of getting back on track here. They have a 6-game point streak going on, are coming home from a 3-game road trip out west. Not quite a Malinsky special, but kind of close to it, given the fact they were out in Colorado and Utah and just had one night off here before coming back home. That's all to say. I don't really have much for this game here. Can't trust the Blue Jackets on the road. Rangers still aren't at a spot where I trust them at all here. Maybe an under if we get Shesterkin, but yeah, that's really the only way I could potentially go for this one. Maybe the Blue Jackets are able to upset them on the road, but given their home road splits, I can't back them there. So under 6.5 at minus 122, if anything here for me.
And that's about the only thing stopping me from betting the Blue Jackets is these home road splits. Mm-hmm. Rangers were a minus 120 favorite for Utah. Utah. I would say Columbus is probably a little bit better than them at this point in time. And now we're getting a plus 160. I understand home and away, but I think there's a little bit too much of a difference on the plus 168. You know what? I'd understand if it was minus 150. I would be willing to take a shot on the Blue Jackets and see where it goes. I definitely can't lay 192 with the Rangers right now. They just showed us the past couple games that they may be back. They played a couple hard games. You're right. They're coming back from a road trip. I'm willing to take the Blue Jackets and see where it goes. I think I may have just talked myself into that. So let me go ahead and put that in real quick.
Yeah. Shout out. There's a comment here from One Sharp Shark. Shout out to my boy Igor. Hashtag HGP Season 1 OG. Yes. Shout out to Igor Shesterkin there. Just got a notification. We got a goalie goal in Pittsburgh, or I guess in Buffalo, with Nedeljkovic scoring a goalie goal there. So who needs Tristan Jarry when you have offense coming from the blue paint there? All right, down to 7 p.m. again here. Got the Calgary Flames plus 185 at the Winnipeg Jets minus 225. Jets puck line is plus 124. Over 5.5 minus 115. Under 5.5 minus 105. Smitty, what do you got here?
Dustin Wolf's in net. I would be very much interested in taking this under. I will wait and see if Vladar's in net. I don't want any part of that under at all. I was just looking up to see what is the regulation price on the Jets.
I am
130.
Yeah.
Minus 130. Yeah. So not terrible. I was only looking at one book though. I'd be willing to take a stab at it, especially no big travel for them coming back home or anything like that. I haven't really looked at that one.
No, Winnipeg's been home. This is the end actually of a 8-game homestand there.
Come out strong on a Saturday night. I'm willing to take the regulation price and then wait and see if Wolf's in net. And if Vladar's in net, I love the Jets regulation price. So that's what I got.
Yeah, both of these teams are not playing Sunday here. Vladar got the first game against St. Louis, which was a back-to-back, and then Wolf got the last one, allowing 4 in that loss on the road. No, Wolf's been a lot better at home than on the road here. I'm going right back to the Jets. I know I got cucked by him last time by Joey Decord, but I don't think Wolf on the road or Vladar here is going to do that to me. The Jets have been winning a lot of their games by margin at home and in regulation. I did write up an article for the last game. I'm trying to go back and find that. by margin. 23 of their 30 wins. Well, 23 of 31 now have been by at least 2, including 14 of 18 at home. So, if you're giving me minus 225 or plus 124, I'll take the plus 124. If I get cucked in back-to-back games, so be it. I mean, it's in Winnipeg, so I guess it would be fitting there to get cucked and pegged in Winnipeg. I do agree with the under. If we get Wolf and we get Hellebuck, I would go with the under, but just the Jets puck line for me. All right, down to 7 p.m. here. Got the Toronto Maple Leafs minus 148 at the Montreal Canadiens plus 124. Over 5.5 minus 130. Under 5.5 at plus 110 here. Like, looking at this line, I get the Canadiens are playing well. They're hot. They've won 8 of their past 10. Just went into Dallas, won 3-1 as big underdogs there. We were on them. But the Leafs at only minus 150 or less here. Just broke a 3-game losing streak against the Devils. I know John Tavares is out for them. Young Croc's been out for a bit as well. This Dubas guy for Canadians has been great in net. Montembeault obviously is going to be one of the goalies for Team Canada, but I can't take the Habs at only plus 124. It's just not something I can do here. Both teams, the Canadians expected goals 4% in the last 10 games, right there in the middle of the pack, 18th. Maple Leafs 3 behind them, 21st here. So kind of getting a cheap price on the Leafs at minus 148. This is the 3rd meeting this season. The last one, the Leafs were at home, minus 203. The first one in Montreal, the Habs were plus 174. So Tavares doesn't make that much of a difference for me. So it's Leafs or nothing for me here.
This one kind of hurt because I've been playing the Habs the past couple times, and they've been really good. But if the Leafs look anything like what they did against the Devils, is what I'm hoping towards. If they look like anything like what they did with the Stars, then I think we're all screwed. That game should not have been that close with the Devils. I understand the Devils have a lot of talent, and I was hoping I was going to get a lucky win there, but it did not look good. Like, every time, I think they spent more time in the offensive zone, double what the Devils did, especially in the 3rd period, which I understand they were down most of the time. But, man, every time they were doing anything, it would be one breakaway chance and that's it. And then it would be back to Toronto being in the zone the whole time. So I completely think that this is a cheap price, and I'm willing to take a chance on it. And if it happens, it happens. The Habs have been playing really good. So, but, I'd already bet the Leafs. I would take the Leafs at this number again also. So
looking at the Leafs' past 3 games, outshot the Devils 41-24, Stars 28-23, Canucks 20-18. It seems like since they got home from that short road trip in Philly and at Carolina, like maybe got some time to practice there or whatnot. So their defense is definitely kind of stepping up there and being able to control more play there. So Hockey Night in Canada in Montreal, you can see the Habs getting up for it, but so can the Leafs. Leafs have still won 7 of the past 10 meetings, including 6 of the past 7. So minus 150, you're not going to see this very often. Take advantage of it while you can. All right, down to 7 p.m. again here. Got the Detroit Red Wings plus 170 at the Tampa Bay Lightning minus 205. Lightning on the puck line are plus 120. Under 6.5 minus 125. Over 6.5 plus 105 here. Smitty, you got to think of this one?
I do not so far. This was one of the ones I have circled to look more into. The Red Wings have been playing pretty good hockey, and Cam Talbot's back, and he has been really good this year. Tampa Bay Lightning have been okay here and there. I am super high on Tampa Bay Lightning, so sometimes I have to bring down my expectations a little bit on them, and I got to make sure that I'm not being too biased on this. I've circled this one to come back and look at it a little bit more. If Cam Talbot's in net 6.5, I do like that under. But that's a huge price with how good the Red Wings have been playing, especially with how they've just been grinding, and then they've just been playing very well lately. I've been quite impressed.
Yeah, ever since Todd McClellan took over, they've got that new head coach bounce, and they're keeping it going. I mean, big win down there in Florida. Got outshot 43-20, but 3 for 4 in the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill to win that one 5-2. 8th win in 9 tries there. And yeah, you said Talbot's back, so either going to be him or Lyon. It will not be Ville Husso, who started that one game that they lost in that span. It is a first half of a back-to-back for Detroit, so I trust Talbot or Lyon a lot more than Husso there. Lightning, yeah, Braden Point was benched for that game or scratched for that game in Boston due to missing a team meeting here. So yeah, I barely got a shootout win there against the Ducks thanks to 2 power play goals on 5 tries. You can't take the Lightning here minus 205. Going right back to the Wings plus 170. Maybe this will get better. This is the best odds on the market right now. So yeah, I would take the Red Wings right now at a big dog price. Ride them while they're hot. This should not last. This should not last too long. Their expected goals for numbers aren't that great, even over the past 10 games. They are still at the 10th worst. But Tampa Bay also isn't too great at the 14th best. So plus 170 for a team that's hot, feeling themselves right now against the Lightning team that's kind of been scuffling. I'll take that all day.
It's almost like 2 years in a row because the Red Wings were doing it all last year without the advanced stats too. So it's been crazy. And then you bring in that new coach. He's brought some grind to that team though.
Yeah. All right, down to 7 p.m. again here. I got the Pittsburgh Penguins plus 180 at the Washington Capitals minus 218. The Capitals puck line is plus 114. Under 6.5 is minus 130. Over 6.5 plus 110 here. Going to be a back-to-back here for the Penguins after a big win in Buffalo. They're 6-3 on the second half of back-to-back so far this season, but it will be Joel Blomqvist in net after they waived Tristan Jarry. They are only 2-5 with Blomqvist in net, and the Capitals are 20-4 with Logan Thompson in net there. So as long as Logan Thompson gets the start, which he should, not the first half of a back-to-back or anything. Obviously, I still trust Charlie Lindgren as well, but Logan Thompson has been insane. I believe he got the start in the shutout last night against Ottawa. Yes, he did. Back-to-back shutouts for him against Anaheim and Ottawa. Allowed 1 goal before that to Nashville here. So I do not see Pittsburgh scoring too many goals. They only had 4 goals in their previous 3 games before tonight. Got outshot 42-19 tonight. Had 3 power play goals. Capitals are rolling. Ovi's back. He's chasing down Gretzky. So Caps here on the puck line plus 114. Maybe a Caps and under parlay. But yeah, you have to look Washington's way here.
Capitals, 1-0 overtime. Sens, Ducks, 3-0. Preds, 4-1. And then the Canadiens, who have been hot. So I can't even fault them on that loss. I think the way to look is the Caps regulation best, or one of the ones I can find is minus 140. I know on DraftKings it's minus 150. I can't pay 218 right now. Penguins on a back-to-back. I know Skydiver always loves to say how old they are, so maybe they won't be able to get out of bed in the morning or something like that. But I think the Capitals regulation is the way I like. I can't take an under at all with the Penguins. There's no chance because you don't know whether they're going to give up 6 on themselves, and then they could probably score 1 or 2. So Capitals regulation if I had to, and just see what happens.
Yeah, Penguins' last 3 games before tonight's games was a 4-2 loss to Seattle, 5-2 to Tampa, and 5-0 to Ottawa there. So that does give me a bit more confidence in the Capitals' puck line here. Joel Blomqvist has not played in the NHL since November 11th when he allowed 3 goals on 8 shots to the Stars. Not sure how he's been doing in the AHL, but I could see Ovi whizzing a few past his ear there on Saturday night.
I like it.
All right, we are brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. So sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, down to 7:30 here. We got the San Jose Sharks plus 185 at the New York Islanders minus 225. Islanders puck line is plus 120. Over 5.5 minus 122. Under 5.5 plus 102 here. I learned last night that Islanders games are at 7:30 because they want to stagger it with the Rangers on MSG TV because the Islanders are a second-rate organization here. So good thing Joel's not here, I guess. But yeah, for this one, I don't really know what to do. Islanders did not look good against the Flyers. Just headhunting, just taking cheap shots. Got 2 power play goals. Of course they did because they hadn't scored a power play goal in pretty much a month or over a month. But Sharks 6-13-5 on the road. Maybe we get an overtime game here. Islanders love to play overtime. They only have 1 overtime game in their past 10. The Sharks have no overtime games in their past 10 here. So, yeah, take the draw here. If anything, I am not confident either way. Maybe I'll take the Sharks plus 185 for Sharky in the chat here. Or maybe a Celebrini point. He's been putting on a show in the Calder Trophy race. So, Sharks, draw, something like that. But nothing too strong.
You said Shark was in the chat. I don't want to go against him, so there's no chance I'm taking the Islanders, especially since isn't Hogberg going to be in that tonight or that for that game? So
Hogberg is confirmed. And yeah. Where do Sharks live? Right off the island. They're going to be hunting out there.
There we go. That's the best logic I can come up with for this game. So yeah, take the plus 185 and roll into the next game.
Yeah.
Go Shark.
Yes. All right, down to 8 p.m. here. Got the Minnesota Wild plus 120 at the Nashville Predators minus 142. Over 5.5 is minus 120 with the under 5.5 at plus 100 here. Smitty, what do you got for this one?
I would love that or the Wild at this price, but there's a lot of injuries going on right now. The Preds opened up, I think it was minus 125. It's already moved 15, 20 cents, depending on what book you have. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to see that grow anymore, but Fleury is already in net. There's a lot of injuries on the Wild right now. I don't have much for this game because I want to see if the Preds are able to have a second half comeback. I think the middle of the season was early this past week or last week. The Preds really have to turn it around and try to hope that some of the other teams are starting to fall off. The Wild just needs to get healthy, take 2-3 weeks off at this point and just pray they go 500. So I'm holding and seeing where things go from here. It is interesting how much it's already jumped though. So I will just wait and see. And there's so many injuries.
Yeah, the Four Nations face-off is going to be huge for the Wild to get a few weeks off there and rest up because I see they're getting Faber back on Saturday night, but Marcus Johansson got elbowed in the head by Connor McDavid with no penalty called on that, so he's out. Brodin is day-to-day as well. He did not play on Wednesday. I saw they moved Kaprizov to LTIR to free up some cap space. Spurgeon's still out here. The Wild were carrying on pretty well without them. They won 4 in a row against Nashville, at DC, at Carolina, against St. Louis. But then past 4 games, only beat the Sharks in San Jose, and they were outshot 37-22, outshot 37-16 in Vegas, and then could not get the job done against Edmonton there on Wednesday night, despite taking a 2-0 lead and then a 3-2 lead in the second period there here. But 16-4-3 on the road, you have to think that comes down at some point, and this probably seems like when it would be. Yeah, Fleury is confirmed already. He had a good start last time. 1 goal against the Sharks, allowed no goals in relief against the Blues before that here. But yeah, Preds has to be the only way to look here at minus 142. But that's a bit steep. There's still minus 135 out there if you're a fan of duels or where the lion roars. But minus 142, this is going to get up to minus 150 or more. And at that point, like if the Wild get to plus 140, might just throw half a unit on them because they beat them 5-3 at home on New Year's Eve without Kaprizov. So, but at this price, I'd take the Predators. Not too much higher though. All right, down to 8 p.m. again here. Got the Vegas Golden Knights minus 230 at the Chicago Blackhawks plus 190, under 6.5 minus 130, over 6.5 plus 110 here. Golden Knights coming off a tough loss down there in Carolina, 3-2 to the Hurricanes. But, back-to-backs have not been too hard for them this season. They are 5-1 on a back-to-back. They're also 4-0 as favorites of -200 to -230. And the Blackhawks are just awful right now. The Blackhawks, lost 4 in a row. They've lost 8 of their past 10. Bedard's been playing well. Maybe take some Bedard point props. But looking at these shot totals, they're outshot by 15, by 11, by 12, by 12, by 16, by 7, by 14. Like, they're just getting dominated now in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas hasn't been playing great recently. Lost 4 of their past 5, but they're going to be licking their chops going into Chicago here, licking their chops for the Blackhawks there in Chicago. Use Golden Knights as a parlay piece here, maybe at -230 if you have minimum leg of -250 or something like that. Don't hate the puck line +110. Chicago did play tough in Nashville to get to the shootout, but before that, lost 5-2, 4-3, 5-3, a few 6-2s in there, 5-1. So I see Vegas, taking out their frustrations on the Blackhawks here.
I guess the real question is the line going to go up anymore since they're on a back-to-back and Samsonov start? That I don't know, because Chicago is so bad right now, no matter who they start, and it's been so disappointing. They really have to build around. It's terrible. I don't understand why. They're talking already about how angry he is going into, and if they don't do anything next season, I could see him being done after his first couple seasons and saying that either a trade or he's leaving in free agency and he's not even re-signing or even taking the chance of re-signing. So it's pretty bad. But for this game, long story short, Vegas puck line, hopefully they come out angry. I don't really have much right now because I'm going to wait and see where the line goes. If it keeps going up, then I'll just stay off it. If it comes down to maybe under 200, it's already 215 some places. If it goes down past 200, you got to try and see what happens. The Blackhawks are that bad. Even with Samsonov in that, he has not been all that great, but you got to believe that even Vegas on a back-to-back can outplay Chicago. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it seems like every week there's some quotes coming out from Chicago being like, "Oh, we embarrassed our fans. What are we doing here? It was an embarrassing effort." Like after the Winter Classic, I saw Seth Jones said something recently about that as well. But yeah, it's wild.
Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, seeing 6.5 here because I see there's another book with 5.5, over 5.5, -140. But there's some 6s out there at -110. I guess maybe I would look to the over just with Samsonov in net. He has not been great for Vegas there. We thought he might be able to go down and rejuvenate his career a bit with a good defense in front of him, but that has not been the case. Maybe against Chicago, though, which is one of the worst teams in the league in terms of generating expected goals. He's able to get a good game there.
Don't worry. Taylor Hall wants an extension, so we'll end up giving it to him.
Yeah. All right, down to 9 p.m. here. I got the St. Louis Blues +105 at the Utah Yotes -125 here. Over 5.5 -122. Under 5.5 +102 here. I don't know for this one. This is likely another pass game for me. Blues won 3 of 4, but they were against the Ducks and then 2 against the Flames at home. Now they're going on the road where they're not good there, and Utah's lost 3 in a row, 5 of 6, 8 of their past 10. They're only 6, 11, and 4 at home. They're really missing the shadows there in the Mullet Arena. They had all the home ice advantage, and they no longer have that here. So I guess you got to go with St. Louis as underdogs. They are 15 and 18 as dogs this season. Utah is 4 and 7 as home favorites. And St. Louis has the 6th best expected goals %, in their last 6 games here. So, the new coach is also helping them out there. Don't think it'll last too long, but against Utah, I have to take the Blues. I'm seeing +115 out there. I would take that. I wouldn't take it here close to even money.
Biggest bet of the preseason was Blues to miss the playoffs. Why am I starting to worry about that? It can only be because of the coaching change at this point. Utah opened up a minus 142, maybe a little bit higher than that favorite. I don't know, because I really like Clayton Keller, but they have not been getting much goaltending help lately. Clayton Keller has been like pretty much the whole team. If he's on the ice, it looks like they have a chance every shift he takes. It has been not great when he's off the ice, though. Utah's minus 120 in some places. Hopefully, ride it out. Even money, I would definitely take a chance on the hockey club. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much. Clayton Keller, whatever you want to do with props, but I don't really do props. But yeah. The Blues got to start losing, please. Please.
Yeah, I might take the under here. Binnington and Hofer have combined to only allow 4 goals in the past 3 games here. Only, 6 goals in the past 4. But yeah, Utah has not beginning goaltending. Allowed 5 to the Rangers, allowed 5 to Montreal. So another pass game here for me, pretty much.
2 hot teams. Maybe they come back to the Blues and they just say, we're done with this.
Yeah. All right, down to 10 p.m. here. I got the Edmonton Oilers minus 170 at the Vancouver Canucks plus 142. Under 6.5 minus 135. Over 6.5 plus 114. I'm hearing rumors tonight that Joel Meyer did not come on the show after the embarrassing performance by the Canucks last night. But Smitty, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow night in Vancouver?
I would definitely be hiding at this point because it was horrendous. That effort was pitiful. I would love to hear a rant right now from Joel coming from this. So
Joel never rants though. He doesn't.
He can take it in stride, but I would love to see the passion that comes out from him talking about the sports talk radio that happens.
Oh
in there.
Yes, yeah. Hearing all these idiot Canuck fans. Oh my God.
But long story short, Oilers. I think you got to take the chance. I already bet the Oilers. I don't remember the exact price I got, but it was a little bit better than this. But I would definitely take minus 170. If you don't want to take minus 170, I would do regulation. Who are they going to start? Demko? Then I would love to take a regulation price at that point. If Hughes isn't on the ice, it has not looked good. I think every publication out there, starting from us to ESPN at this point, has been saying that Hughes has been the difference maker. They have so much turmoil in the office and everything else. Mm-hmm. Oilers had a huge comeback win. Even if they're down 3 goals, we just learned last night that there's still a chance they can come back. So I'll take the Oilers. They have been buzzing and being great. Hopefully it's not Pickard in net. I'll take Skinner. He can recover, and apparently he had enough poise to come back after letting in 3 early that he made some great saves last night, especially against that top-tier offense. So, yes, Oilers, regulation if you want to. But, yeah, I got the money line right now. So,
yeah, Oilers are showing why. They were they pushed the Panthers to 7 games in the Stanley Cup final now. I mean, looking at their overall record, 29 wins, 16 losses. Since November 23rd, I just looked back now, they're 19 wins and 5 losses. Their losses were at Vegas 1-0, 6-5 to Florida, at the Kings in overtime, at Pittsburgh 5-3, at the Ducks on a back-to-back. So like they're just rolling right now, and the Canucks are the perfect fodder for them in their way. Back-to-back 6-1 lost in Winnipeg, 5-1 loss in LA. Canucks are not good at home, 7-9-6. They have forced quite a few overtimes, though, so I'm not sure if I like the Oilers puck line, but minus 170 is not something I mind paying the juice on here. Maybe a Oilers Jets parlay, maybe Oilers parlay with this next team we're talking about here, because yeah, they're rolling right now. Skinner and Pickard have both been great in net. They're healthy right now, and yeah, the Canucks, it's Quinn Hughes or it's nothing for them, and it's been mostly nothing. They haven't been getting any goal scoring. Goaltending has not been great for them either, allowing 11 goals in the past 2 games. So yeah, Oilers minus 170. I'd probably play this up to minus 185, minus 200 as a parlay piece. But yeah, Oilers here or nothing. As for the total, I mean, Edmonton won 7-3 in the first meeting in Vancouver. Could see something similar, but not touching the total, just going with the Oilers here.
You are right, though. It has gone nothing but up. It was minus 142.
It was opened at minus 142?
Well, yes, it was minus 142. Yes.
All right, down to the final game on the docket at 10 p.m. Got the Los Angeles Kings minus 155 at the Seattle Kraken plus 130, under 5.5 minus 130, over 5.5 plus 110. Smitty, close it out.
There is a book or two still hanging out minus 145 on this. I do believe that is a good price. I think this is a good price. The Kings are around one of the top teams in the league right now, even with a couple injuries, but they have been playing great, and I am more than willing to pay minus 155. I think the Kraken are a little bit overvalued here at this point, but especially if you can get a minus 145 at this current time. Now, tomorrow, I don't know what it's going to be at, but yes, it is, I think, the Kings or nothing at this point. I don't know if it's going to, it could only, I think it's only going to go up from minus 145. That's why I already got it. But yes, Kings.
Yeah, this is going to just keep going up. I mean, you got minus 145. That's still out there. I see minus 150, minus 155 here. I would take that. And this is another one I would easily take to 20 cents higher than what it's at. I mean, Seattle got a Malinsky special here coming home from a 5-game road trip. They were out east, then went up to Winnipeg. Now they're back down in Seattle. LA, we're just in Vancouver on Thursday night. Didn't have to put up much effort there in a 5-1 win. Had 2 days off before that. So they relatively well rested. Only 11-10-4 on the road, but the only way the Kraken win this is if Joey Decord steals it, and it's possible. It's possible there, but if that happens, it's going to be an under 5.5. Minus 130 is really juicy. There's a minus 120 out there. Maybe it'll get down to a flat 5 by puck drop here, but Kings play him up to minus 175. Take the under here. Minus 130 is a bit much, so maybe just the Kings. They won the first meeting 2-1 in LA. Only 41 shots on goal in that one. So low event game here. Oh, and Seattle got outshot 33-18 and then 36-18 in Pittsburgh and in Winnipeg here. So Kings, love them here. Kings, Oilers, Jets parlay. 3 favorites. What can go wrong there?
Well, let me ask you, if Tampa Bay was playing this game, what do you think they'd be at? Almost 200, right?
If Tampa Bay was on the road here?
Yes.
It's tough. Like, why do you love Tampa Bay so much? I can't get a good read on Tampa.
It's the goaltending. And they have top tier talent.
And Kucherov. Like, as long as they have those guys, like, you can't bet
exactly.
Yeah.
But the Kings and Tampa were basically a pick 'em, so I bet it'd be every bit of minus 175, maybe 200 at this point.
Yeah, it probably would. I don't know why Seattle's getting so much respect here. I guess Decord being back, he's been great since he's returned, but no, the Kraken are not what we thought they would be. I mean, they had a great, 2 years ago they made the playoffs and pushed the Avs in the playoffs, and last year they regressed a bit. This year, even coming back here. Oh, we got a sneaky puck line play in the chat here from Shark. Kings minus 1.5 plus 180. There we go. That is a pretty good price there, actually. Seattle, 2-1 loss in Winnipeg, but 6-2 in Detroit, 6-2 in Columbus, 4-2 to Edmonton there. And yeah, I could see the Kings getting up 3-1 and just, getting into that LA shell and winning this one in a low scoring game. All right, that is the 15-game slate. Big slate there on Saturday, January 18th. Not going to do any puck buck bets here. But what are some of your favorite plays for Saturday slate here?
Oilers, and then what else did I have?
Kings.
The Oilers, Sens, Kings, and then the Leafs. Those are probably my 4 or 5 that I have that I like the most.
Yeah, Leafs definitely undervalued there in Montreal. When I got written down here, I got, Flyers plus 170 or better there against the Devils. Maybe take the draw in that one. Bruins Sens under, like the Avalanche at home against the Stars. Red Wings plus 170. I think that's a bit too high in Tampa. Right there with you on Toronto. Probably Washington against Pittsburgh as long as it's Logan Thompson. Winnipeg, either as a parlay piece or a puck line. Same thing with Vegas. When I took my notes earlier, I wrote down St. Louis Dogs, but I guess that's when they opened up as bigger dogs because now they're only plus 110, and I'm not really all about that. But yeah, then the two 10 o'clock favorites, Kings Oilers. I mean, that's a good parlay there to close out tonight.
I like it. The Blues are still plus 115 other places, like you said. So it's still not settled down yet.
Yeah, I'll grab that when we get off here. Plus 115. If you're watching live, you can still get that somewhere else. All right, Smitty, how are you feeling about your Irish going into this game on Monday night?
I would be nothing but a fan, but be confident, and Bull Jacks can go somewhere else for the time being at this point. So yes. I have not had this much hope since I thought that we could take down Alabama. So I have nothing but the biggest hope, and I am hopefully not disappointed come Monday. But Ohio State looks like a whole nother level, obviously. I can't even talk about it because I'll get disappointed because yes.
I respect the fandom there, but plus 8.5, plus 285 on the money line. I mean, it's quite a lot to overcome there.
You know what? That's a ball bouncer too. We can take it, we can have it, and it's going to happen. Don't bet on it though, because that's not betting advice. No, I will be though, but do not bet on it.
Yeah. You'll have your money and your heart on that one there.
100%. How else do you roll?
Yeah, you got 8.5 favorites on the NFL on Saturday. Chiefs and Lions over the Texans and Commanders. At the Birds -6 should be a good snow game there. I'm saying we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches here in Philly. So take Barkley props, take Barkley to score, take the Birds. They're going to run all over the Rams there. But yeah, Sunday night Ravens Bills should be a great one there too. I forgot about the national championship game. I'll see if I can persuade Joel to record there. Probably not, but maybe if there's a blowout, maybe if Notre Dame goes up big, we can.
There we go. I like that. How you think there? Yeah. The only other thing I got for the weekend is I think Ravens even money at this point, but it's already moved. So, yeah.
Okay, Ravens favored there in Buffalo. It's interesting to see.
I'm having a hard time staying away from Texans plus 10. Or no, it's at 9.5 now, I think.
Yeah, tease them up. The Chiefs never win big.
Yeah,
they don't seem to. All right, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Given podcast on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple or YouTube, and I will read it here at the end of the show, just like One Sharp Shark did on our last episode here. If you're a hockey fan with a love for high-stakes action, the Hockey Given podcast is an absolute must-listen. This podcast is a masterclass in blending sports analysis and betting strategy, offering insights so sharp they might as well skate circles around the competition. From the breakdown of line shifts to over-under predictions, every episode feels like sitting at the table with the pros who truly know their stuff. But what really takes the cake? The end of each episode, it's where everything comes together. Witty recaps, surprising fuck archers, and just the right mix of humor and suspense. Whether it's an epic closing rant or a final unexpected betting tip, it always leaves you hungry for the next episode. The Hockey Given podcast isn't just a podcast, it's a power play for your ears. 5 stars all the way. Shout out Shark for that lovely 5-star review there. You can have your 5-star review read if you leave it on YouTube or Apple there as well. All right, I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Schmitty. I'm going to go eat some Culver's and probably the best fast food place maybe outside of Chick-fil-A. Leave it in the comments if you think anything's better.
See ya. Fuck Archer.